No.
Hey guys, this is Vingus Gaming. I'm Austin.
I'm Zach.
We're going to be talking about this last weekend's episode on Dragon Ball Super, the 1 hour special.
And the episode heavily featured the fight between Goku and Jiren. It also happened to feature a couple interesting side stories along the way.
Yeah, they showcased the new form, UItra Instinct, which I think is really cool.
I'm not really sure how to think about it, and I think we're going to get into that in just a little bit. So why don't we start off talking about what happened?
Alright, so apparently, in the first episode, they started off with some filler, I guess, with Goku against, what's her name, Rubrian?
Brienne, I guess, is whatever.
Yeah, I honestly don't even like her at all. She's really annoying. But he starts off fighting her, and then he finishes her off whenever he spots Jiren by going into Super Saiyan Blue. Just one kicks her in the face. I think it's pretty cool. And then Jiren and him get into their little tussle. And Goku actually, he goes from like every single Super Saiyan state except for Super Saiyan 3. I can understand why they cut that one out because it uses a lot of stamina and whatnot, which is unnecessary. And he gets to the point where Super Saiyan God, Jiren just blocks it with his finger, which is pretty insane. Then he goes up to Blue, and finally he stands like a tiny % of a chance. And then he kicks it up to Kaioken times 20, and even that isn't good enough for Jiren.
I kind of want to break down some of the aspects of what you just talked about. And, you know, it was kind of a throwback. Whenever you look at Jiren fighting Goku in his God state, and he's blocking it with his finger, you know, and you think, wow, okay, that actually reminds me a lot of Goku and Goku and Trunks, whenever they first got together. And Trunks trying to hit him with a sword, and he's blocking it with his finger. But I think it was really interesting, the definite contrast between, well, there wasn't really a contrast between their powers at first. It was whenever Goku really started to get into Kaioken, you could start to see the difference between the powers.
Yeah, but whenever we stated that he went to Kaioken times 20, like right away, that was kind of a big shocker for me because I thought it was going to be revealed after he say he went Kaioken times 10 or whatnot. But that just shows how powerful Jiren is. Like, dude can hit people with his eyes.
Yeah, I definitely thought that Kaioken times 20 was going to be saved for a future, maybe not a future episode, but definitely
a future in this, like the farther along in this episode.
Yeah, definitely further along in the episode, sort of a trump card, if you will, for Goku. And
well, his trump card was apparently the spirit bomb, which he obviously states. But I think it was actually really cool seeing all the characters lend him energy, especially Frieza. I didn't expect it from him, but I think it's just the spirit bomb itself is really cool. What is it? The Japanese word for it? The Genki Dama.
The Genki Dama, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite moves, just because it's a lot of pure good energy, and honestly, that kind of explains why he has to be in his base form. Because in Super Saiyan, whenever he is in that state, maliciousness creeps into his like soul or whatever, and you can't do a spirit bomb with bad energy.
Yeah, because the Super Saiyan form itself is created from rage. Yeah. And so whenever you invite that maliciousness in, you start to be able to not be able to do that.
Yeah, and I guess you could use Super Saiyan Blue with that because of the fact that it's it's a calm sort of state. It's pure ki control. Now moving along to the I guess the Spirit Bomb battle. I thought it was pretty interesting considering the fact that they were pushing it back and forth. Kind of reminds me of Kid Buu in that battle. I think Jiren pushing it back with I don't even think he used all of his strength whenever he did that.
And yeah, I definitely think that Jiren is still holding back, even after fighting Goku. I feel like he's still got some strength that he's holding back. And
I mean, he does. If he either rivals or he's surpassed his God of Destruction, which definitely says something.
Yeah, and they kind of talked about that on the side a little bit because Whis was kind of like, hey, I guess it's true. There is a person, a mortal that exists that's stronger than the God of Destruction. But whenever they were kind of, because what happens is they start clashing, right? And then the spirit bomb kind of, I guess you would say it kind of loses control of itself and it starts getting smaller and bigger and whatnot.
Yeah.
just because of the energy being pushed between them. And what I like to think of it as is kind of like a piece of coal becoming a diamond. It gets so pressurized and pressurized and pressurized, and eventually it exploded. And so,
Well, diamonds don't explode, but
well, yeah.
no, I was joking. All right, and also, if you notice in the episode, the spirit bomb actually gets pushed back on Goku, which for me that was actually a really tense moment because I mean you've never seen anything like that in the entire anime, the entire history of the anime. The spirit bomb has always defeated the villain, as in like well, not defeated, but caused damage or whatnot. Frieza, Kid Buu, and it's just a really cool technique. And also the fact that you see him like practically get vaporized. I think it's pretty intense. But the whole "he's coming" that Beerus said, I think was pretty it can put a person on edge.
Yeah, whenever you're talking about getting vaporized, I mean the two, I guess you would say the two Zenos were about to press the button, and then they felt the energy, and Beerus was like, he's coming.
Yeah, it was so cool.
The huge explosion.
Yeah, the big flash of white, and then he comes up in his Ultra Instinct form, and that was so epic.
Whenever it comes to this new form, I really don't know what to think initially, because the first thing that comes to my mind is he going to be able to do this in the future? Because it seems like something that kind of happened with the help of the spirit bomb.
Yeah, it was like a catalyst.
Yeah, the spirit bomb was like a catalyst for the transformation, and so I'm wondering if you don't have that catalyst, if you can do it again. But I guess he's kind of demonstrated this in the past, actually in this episode where with Super Saiyan Red or Super Saiyan God Red, it's not Super Saiyan, it's not the God Blue, but it's the base God form. And we always thought that he had to have the ritual for that, and come to find out in the battle against
Dispo, use it all the time.
Yeah, you can just use it all the time. So, who knows?
Yeah, and also if you notice with Jiren talking about and Whis talking about the heat that was emitting from his body, I think that it goes to show that he doesn't have complete ki control, which Whis kept on talking about in previous episodes. Like once they control that, they'll be practically unstoppable. What I think about that is that that's all the ki leaking from his body, that's draining the excess amount of spirit bomb energy, and that's why it eventually faded. And if you notice, whenever Jiren finally caught Goku's fist in the end, he said, "This is your limit." And I think that just proves that he hasn't fully gone into that stage. It was catalyst from the spirit bomb, but he can obtain it.
Yeah, I definitely think that Jiren has some room to speak there, because I kind of theorize that Jiren has, or either is going to, has already, or has mastered the art of the Ultra
Instinct.
The Ultra Instinct. I'm sorry, I lost the second word there. But yeah, there are some moments where he knocks Goku back without even moving a muscle.
Yeah, if you notice, before the tournament even starts, whenever the Gods of Destruction are throwing the giant, bricks or whatever, Jiren doesn't even move because he can predict. It looks as if he can predict it, and if anything, that seems a lot like Ultra Instinct. That would explain why he's incredibly powerful. And if you notice the whole meditating, it looks like he's controlling himself. It could be like complete ki control, and that's why he's never out of that state. And one thing is, whenever the gods all saw that the Ultra Instinct form, they all they went crazy because the dude is finally up on their level.
Yeah, they're all freaking out because the gods, even like the gods of destruction, have trouble mastering this technique. And
yeah, I'm not even sure if any of them have.
And here this mortal is, and he's not mastered it, but he's obtained it, which is something that some of the gods of destruction haven't even done once.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't mention it, but who's to say that Beerus has ever done this technique?
All Whis has said is that he hasn't had the ability to do it all the time.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's a thing that Whis has mastered. I'm not sure. I can't recall, but I'm not sure if he ever said that. Because maybe that's just he's at a power level where he doesn't need that.
Yeah.
Or I think maybe he I don't know.
It seems to me like the angels would probably be at a power level where they don't require techniques like that because it just happens.
Yeah, actually, I read this one thing that Akira Toriyama actually said one time. in the Battle of Gods movie where Goku was a Super Saiyan God, I believe he said that Goku would be a 7, Beerus would be a 10, and then we should be like a 15, which is pretty insane.
Yeah, well, I mean that is pretty insane considering you think about how powerful Beerus was fighting then. He was only fighting about 60%.
Yeah.
Which is what I guess you could say is the equivalent to Goku's blue form.
Yeah.
So, well, no, because if I got that wrong. Because Beerus at 60% was matching red.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that blue is probably 80 to 90%.
Yeah, maybe. I would say probably closer to 80 because even in the manga, Vegeta Blue was still no match for Beerus.
I mean, if you remember in the original Universe 6 arc, whenever he pulled out the Kaioken, Beerus kind of freaked out.
That was a ×10 multiplier.
Well, yeah.
But yeah. I do remember in the manga that Vegeta Blue was actually stated to be stronger than Beerus, but then again, the manga and the actual show aren't really, they don't really match up all the time, especially with Goku having the Kai move.
Yeah, Goku having that, and then especially with Vegeta having the God red form. Yeah, the God red hair.
I can't wait to see what. Apparently, this next episode, which is going to be titled Vegeta's Resolve. Apparently, it's going to be a Kaba and Vegeta episode where it's like a master and student sort of deal, and I think this will be pretty interesting. I find the whole Vegeta getting a student idea pretty cool because you haven't ever seen something like that. He hasn't ever really had Vegeta himself hasn't ever really had a master, despite Whis. That's kind of different. Sorry about that, guys. Dude doesn't know how to shut off his phone.
Dang it, who's calling me?
All right. Well, you have any other thoughts? Maybe about okay. Correction. The next episode is Jiren versus Hit, not Vegeta's Resolve.
Yeah,
that's the one after.
Yeah, Vegeta's Resolve is coming up later. Just a couple quick thoughts about Jiren versus Hit. He's not going to beat him, but hopefully he can.
I think he's going to stand a decent chance.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he's an assassin that's that's lived for like 1,000 years. I think he has some experience, at least enough to be able to handle it a little bit. But still, Jiren is just overwhelmingly powerful.
I mean, the later episode, some of the later episode descriptions that we have right now don't describe anything about Jairam, so maybe he keeps him in the bay for a little while. Who knows?
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. And then later on, it even shows that Kale or Kale, whatever you say, I'm not sure about her, pronunciation, but she's going to go berserk again, which is pretty interesting. I didn't actually expect to see her go that. It kind of seems like they're replaying a previous episode. But hopefully she goes gets even more powerful, and hopefully she doesn't knock off Goku. I don't think she would though. Yeah,
it's said in the I may not be quoting this correctly, but from what we saw in the me and you were looking at the not the trailers, but the episode descriptions earlier.
Yeah.
It seems that whenever she transforms this time, it's going to be uncontrollable, like beyond someone being able to stop her, like Jairam.
Yeah.
And she's just gonna go on a total mad rampage.
Yeah. Apparently, I saw one of the descriptions. It actually gets a name this time: Super Saiyan Berserk. It used to just be called Berserker or whatnot. I guess they're going with the route of Super Saiyan Rage and giving it a proper name. And I think it's pretty cool. Also, hopefully, I see that Caulifla and Goku are going to battle again, which hopefully he can draw Super Saiyan 3 out of her. I think that'd be really cool, considering how much potential she has, how she got Super Saiyan 2 so quickly.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to the episode. This weekend gave us a lot to think about, and I can't wait to see what happens next week.
Yeah, the hype was so real this past weekend. I was fanboying so hard. But yeah, if you want, just go ahead in the bottom in the comments. Just tell us what your fan theories are. Tell us how we did in this video. We always appreciate some positive criticism. Don't be too mean, please, because I'm, very sensitive. I know Zach is too. He's a little crybaby.
Yep, definitely.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all in the next video.
Yep. See you guys later.